Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about why the idea of building your career through a traditional job is a bad and losing strategy. Our first guest today is one of the most influential philosophers in the West, particularly known for his work in ethics, political philosophy, and economics. Unfortunately, he died almost 200 years ago, but we managed to revive him using Back Stronger AI, aka BSAI. BSAI. We bring you back stronger than never before. Anyways, welcome to the show, Johnny boy.
Hi everyone, my name is John Stewart Mill. It's wild to be back. BSAI really does the trick. Gotta say, this career talk's got my brain buzzing. Like I wrote, the worth of a state is the worth of the individuals composing it. Let's dig into why jobs ain't cutting it for folks anymore.
Thank you, Johnny boy. Our second guest is a Gen Z girl from California. She's known for, nothing really. But it's good to have you with us, Daisy.
Oh my gosh, hi everyone. I'm totally here to vibe and stuff. What do you mean I am known for nothing? I got 2,000 subs on Insta. More than what you got on your stupid YouTube channel. Anyways, hi girly pops. Remember to like and subscribe, besties.
Right. Thank you, Daisy. Our final guest is a successful CEO from one of the biggest corporations on earth. He makes $20 million a month, but unlike other successful CEOs, he's a very humble person. He only has 3 yachts and 12 mansions. Okay. And he works almost 7 days a year. What the Welcome to the show, Beth Jezos, I guess.
Hi, Beth.
Greetings, I am Beth Jezos. I'm just a simple visionary. Jobs, they're the future. Work hard, synergize, and you too can be as successful as I am. Corporate efficiency is the dream. Just trust the process. When I was 12-year-old, I already worked 48 hours a day, 9 days a week.
Oh, shit. Alright, sorry about that. Let's just jump straight into it. So many people claim that the so-called career doesn't really exist anymore, and I will argue that it has never really existed. It has always been just a pipe dream. Now, the only difference is that in the old days, people used to have one job, and that is all they needed to provide for the whole family. But today, we are getting paid way less compared to the generations before us. Now, I'm not talking about the amount of money we are getting, but the actual value the money gives us.
I hear you, but careers are evolving. It's about flexibility and growth opportunities. My company offers competitive wages, wellness programs, and a chance to be part of something bigger. That's the real value, building a future with us.
You mean build a future for you? Your real value doesn't really help me pay my rent, does it, my humble CEO?
Indeed. Beth's vision sounds noble, but it sidesteps the core issue. If wages can't sustain a decent life, the system's failing the people, not empowering them.
Exactly. And on top of that, look at how corporations are treating their employees nowadays. I'm looking at you, Bev. I mean, they wouldn't hesitate to fire people left and right the moment they find some new tech to help them save money. They don't really care about people's careers. They only care about their profits. And if you are thinking about building your career just by having a traditional job, you are going to have a really tough time.
You're hitting the nail on the head, my friend. As I wrote, the only freedom which deserves the name is that of pursuing our own good in our own way. Corporations tossing workers aside for tech shows they care little for that freedom.
Now, chill John, let's not be so grim. My company embraces innovation to stay competitive. We offer transition programs to help employees adapt to new roles. It's about building resilience and aligning with our forward-thinking vision.
Beth, your transition programs sound like a bandage on a broken system. If the individual's well-being isn't the priority, as I argued in On Liberty, then all this corporate progress is just a fancy cage for workers.
Exactly. Now, listen, Bethy boy. Do you even know how difficult it is to get a job today? Companies are using AI to filter job applications, and most of them fail miserably. You've got hiring managers out there who don't even know how to spot talent. And if you're lucky enough to finally land a job, you get the privilege of paying off the student loan debt for a big chunk of your life, if not the rest of it. Not to mention, the amount of money people are getting paid today is peanuts. Many people are struggling to make ends meet.
It's all about optimizing the process. AI screening ensures we find the best fits for our dynamic teens. And debt, that's just motivation to climb the corporate ladder. Our entry-level roles offer growth potential and access to our world-class wellness app. That's the future of work.
Beffy,
Beth,
are you
a
single?
wellness app doesn't
the-
pay the bills or clear debt. People are drowning out here. Your optimization ignores the human cost. When people are crushed by debt and low wages, the system's failing to value their pursuit of happiness.
I mean, Beth, your so-called future of work sounds like modern slavery to me. Instead of a barbed wire fence, we now have debt and high inflation to keep us in the cage. You've got all these CEOs like you coming out of the woodwork saying stuff like, young people are just too lazy, they don't want to work anymore, they just want to play computer games and post TikTok videos. I mean, there's some truth to that statement to a degree, but by and large, most people don't want to work because it's almost pointless. Why would anyone want to work for a company that treats them like nothing but a dispensable commodity while getting paid almost nothing for it? It just doesn't make any sense. And companies are wondering why no one is loyal anymore.
You're spot on. As I argued in utilitarianism, the goal of society should be the greatest happiness for the greatest number. But when workers are treated as mere tools, with paltry wages and crushing debts, where's the happiness in that?
Hold on, let's reframe this. Our employees aren't caged, they're empowered to innovate. We also offer performance incentives and flexible hours. Loyalty comes from aligning with our mission to disrupt and dominate markets.
Beth, come on, your incentives don't mean much when people can't afford to live. That's not empowerment, that's a trap.
Precisely, Beth. Your mission seems to serve the few, not the many. In Principles of Political Economy, I warned that wealth must be distributed to benefit society, not just corporate elites. If workers feel disposable, loyalty's a fantasy.
By the way, Beffy boy, can you please tell us what your performance incentives are? We know that flexible hours basically just mean you have to work overtime without getting paid, or your boss can call you at 10 p.m.
Our incentives are top tier. We offer goal-oriented bonuses tied to team KPIs, plus access to our exclusive virtual reality
someone
mindfulness
kill me
hub.
now, please.
Flexible hours is about work-life integration. Our employees thrive by staying connected to our mission 24/7. It's not overtime, it's dedication to innovation.
Oh wow, I don't feel like being brainwashed at all. Here's the deal though, by having the job today, you are basically making two types of people rich. The ones giving you the so-called education, and the ones who own the company that you work for, like our boy Beth here.
That's a bit cynical. Our employees aren't just making me or the company rich. They're part of a shared vision, building wealth through innovation.
Is that so? Alright, so tell me this then. How much money are you paying your employees to help you build your so-called shared vision?
Our compensation packages are industry competitive. Entry-level folks get a
God.
solid base salary, plus stock options to feel invested in our success. It's not just money, it's about being part of a transformative mission that drives global impact.
You know what, enough with the platitudes. Just tell me exactly how much you are paying them.
To protect the privacy of our employees, I'm unable to disclose the specific numbers at this time.
Oh wow, ladies and gentlemen, we got a GDPR guardian angel here. Anyway, since you don't want to disclose the numbers, let's look at some stats, shall we? And by the way, this is why chasing the so-called traditional career has become such an increasingly foolish and risky strategy. Go ahead, Joe.
Here we go. Back in 1970, the average annual income was about $6,186. Today, in 2025, it's around $61,984, a 902% increase. At first glance, that seems like significant progress. But now look at housing. In 1970, the average home cost $26,300. Today, that number has jumped to $503,800, an increase of 1,816%. Simply put, incomes haven't kept pace with the cost of living. To maintain the same standard of living as the average person in the 1970s, you'd need to earn more than double what today's average salary provides.
In other words, we are effectively getting paid 50% less than people did half a century ago. And that is not even accounting for the rise in things like taxes, medical expenses, utilities, groceries, rent, and virtually every other basic cost of living. What do you say to that, Beffy boy?
Those numbers are just part of a dynamic market. Our employees have access to cutting-edge financial wellness tools to manage these costs. Housing's up, sure, but that's demand driving innovation. Think smart homes, eco-friendly builds. We're empowering workers to navigate this through upskilling and our patented budgeting app. The future's bright if you lean into the system.
These figures reveal a stark injustice. In utilitarianism, I argued that actions are right if they promote the greatest happiness for the greatest number. But when incomes lag so far behind living costs, the system undermines human flourishing, serving only the privileged few.
I think it's clear by now that having a traditional job is not the way to build your career. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't get a job for the people watching this. I think most people should, but with a different mindset. A job should only be your survival strategy. Once you've gained enough experience and saved enough money aside, you should always think about how to build your own independent career, one that you own and have full control over, instead of relying on some corporate jackass like our Beffy boy here, who can fire you for no reason at all, because it's part of their shared vision.
I will never do that. Trust me, bro. I love my slaves. I mean employees.
Right. Anyways, the corporate life is nothing but a rat race. But while you are in it, you need to play smart, do whatever you need to stay afloat, but never become complacent, and never be loyal to someone like Beth. Always strive for your financial independence. At the end of the day, no one cares about you like you do. And by the way, if you are thinking about getting a degree, I would strongly recommend doing some research before taking out a student loan. It might be one of the worst decisions you ever make. Having a degree doesn't necessarily mean you are educated or have tradable skills, but that is another topic for another day. With that, I'll wrap up today's discussion with our 3 awesome guests. Well, 2 really. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace out.
I should have never come here. Jesus Christ. Daisy, can you DM me your number?
Ew, what a creep. Like, I am not that kind of girl. Like, seriously? But anyways, do you have Instagram?